All right. You guys can go ahead and start with questions because
I'm dark. There you go. No. Put it where you.
mood lighting.
Yeah, move the light off of the whiteboard. Okay, that's good. Right there.
All right, Doug Feinberg, you want to go ahead?
Hey, Coach, just talk about Paige's effort tonight. I mean, she didn't shoot.
Oh, that's my bad. We were muted. Go ahead.
She hit the big shot for you, obviously, at the end there, and did everything else besides shoot well. So just as a freshman, being able to do other things when it wasn't a great shooting night for her.
Yeah, that was a rough first outing for Paige, for sure. You know, she's a pass first player, and she keeps reminding me that every day. She tells me, you know, she'd rather pass the ball than shoot it. And I don't know how many she ended up with, 7 or 8 assists. I don't know what it was, but you know, I think she handled herself, you know, pretty well, considering, you know, it's our first time in an environment like this, and especially during this pandemic time, you know, when we haven't played in front of any crowds at all, and they're not an easy play because how long they are on the perimeter. So it was difficult. It was a difficult game for Paige, but you know, like I always say, you don't lose the game on one play. You know, you can't go back and say that play cost us the game. You know, people love to say that, especially in the media. That play cost the game. You don't generally have that, but one big play can win you the game. And you know, we had some really big plays by you know, by all those guys. You know, by Kristen. You know, the shots that he made. Liv, couple rebounds that Liv got late there. Aubrey. Everybody made some contributions. Leah gave us some great minutes. So it was good to see them do that, because I wasn't sure what we would do the first time we were faced with a game where nothing goes right.
Alexa, you want to go ahead?
Hi, Geno. You mentioned her just now, but Kristen really carrying the offense for, it felt like most of the game when she was in there before that little fourth quarter spurt. What did you see from her and how she was able to just continue to mature and put some of the struggles she had earlier, even this month, behind her and really come through and show that she's the junior you needed her to be tonight?
Yeah. You know, we talked before the game, you know, it was, you need to play, you know, you need to play great tonight. You know, I didn't say anything about you need to shoot great. You know, I just reminded, or you just need to play great tonight. You know, whatever that means, whatever that encompasses, and all the things that go into playing great on a particular night. And today, you know, she did. And there's some moments that she wishes she had back, I'm sure, you know, that always happens. You know, this is our 8th game of the year. You know, we've been at it for 5 months, it seems like, and we played 8 games. So all this is brand new. And I think Kristen really responded to the challenge.
Carl, you want to go ahead?
Geno, 2-part question. First, how well do you think Davina Westbrook handled herself tonight in what had to be an emotional situation for her? Second part, does Janelle Francisco get an assist tonight?
I don't know. As far as Davina is concerned, you know, I pulled her aside, before, you know, today at shoot around, and I tried to, like, I don't know if it did any good or not, but I tried to point out the difference between playing with a lot of emotion and not being emotional. and not letting your emotions, get in the way. And not an easy thing for her coming down here, but I thought she was unbelievably good. She made some really clutch shots. Really just big moments in the game. And I think there was another one that I thought was in. Couldn't have been easy coming back here. Never is when a kid, goes back to where they were playing before, but I couldn't have asked her to play any better for sure.
Mike Anthony, you want to go ahead?
Thanks. Hey, Geno.
Hey.
What did you think about how things were going through 3 quarters, and how important was it for you to see this group ultimately persevere through something like this? Like you talked about, this is something freshmen have never seen. It's also something upperclassmen hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah. I don't think you could point to one thing in most of the 3 quarters tonight that you would say, Connecticut did a really good job there. I don't think we rebounded the ball well. I don't think we ran any semblance of offense. We certainly didn't shoot the ball well. We didn't make free throws. I can't think of one thing that we did well those first 3 quarters. We just hung around. And then in the fourth quarter, when, we started to get into a little bit of a flow, and I asked them after the game, what were some of the big moments? And they kept saying the stops that we got, so we got some big stops in the fourth quarter, and then some shots started to drop. But those first 3 quarters, it would have been really easy for us to just let it get away and leave here with an L. But games like this are somewhat rewarding, I think. I said something to Jamel. I said, Jamel, I think this was the score or close to it. Maybe not, but it seems familiar. When we came down here for the very first time in December of 95. And it was the same kind of game. We just grind it out, not make shots, and just make a couple big plays at the end. And it's easy to win when everything's going right. It's easy to win when every shot, when it feels like you're shooting it into the ocean. Winning when nothing's going right. Those 11 free throws, that we missed. That's just, they make something that shouldn't be as difficult, exceptionally difficult. So maybe that's what you have to do to learn how to grind it out.
And a lot of your misses, did you feel like they were good shots? It seemed like you had some players miss some shots that they ordinarily would make. So were segments of this game kind of a situation where you were playing well, just not necessarily shooting well?
Well, I think every shot we took in the first half was a really, really good shot. The only problem was they came out of nonsense. They came out of nothing. So by us saying, listen, the way they're going to guard these, the big guys are going to sag back. So our big guys, you guys are going to get an opportunity to, shoot some open jump shots. Well, I didn't know that they thought that meant I ain't screening, I ain't cutting, I ain't passing it to anybody. I'm just going to stand here and do what coach said. I'm going to shoot open jump shots. They forget the other 3 things that I said that would lead up to that shot. So were they open shots? Yes, wide open. Wide open. I just didn't like the way we were going about getting them. And the fourth quarter, more people touched the ball.
Thanks.
Joyce?
Yeah, Geno, we talked about in the pregame show about rebounding being such a big factor tonight. You turn out to be just -4. The offensive rebounds -3, but second chance points just 12, 11. Obviously, a lot of those came in the later stages of the game, but just to stay close with them on the boards, I imagine you have to be pretty proud of your group. Yeah,
I'm not happy with the way we rebound. one, we're not very big to begin with, and two, you know, we don't really think it's a big deal, you know. So I'm not crazy about our rebounding, but for us to be only -4, you know, and give up the size that we were giving up at every position. I think they were taller than us at every single position. So we still found a way, but I don't know that I want to go through a whole season like that. That's for sure.
Doug Bonjour.
Hey, Geno, you talked a little bit about it on the broadcast, but just, you know, being back there, you know, first time, 15 years, just what were your, you know, kind of emotions, just being in the building? I know different circumstances with the, you know, fewer, you know, the crowd, but just what, you know, what was going through your head?
I mean, a lot of times when we come down here in the past, we knew we were playing a great team, but I also knew I was coming down here with a great team. So there was like this, you know, big title fight atmosphere to it. And there was going to be 24,000 people in the stands. So when I walked in today for shoot around and then for the game, it didn't have that feel. You know, you know, you saw the game. I mean, there was games where it's like 85, 80, you know, it just didn't have that same feel for whatever reason. So, you know, I didn't really think a lot about anything other than this is going to be different. This is going to be different. Plus, I mean, I have COVID brain. Like I'm going to be 67 in March, and in addition to all the other things that comes with being 67, I think I have COVID brain. I don't feel anything about anything anymore. I show up, coach the team, let's play, let's hope we play great. Let's go home. I'm gonna have a glass of wine on the plane. I'm gonna feel really good about that.
Michelle Vopel.
Yeah, coach, for one thing, you do have a good memory on that first score. The first time you went to Knoxville, it was a 6-point game. It was 59-53. So congrats on that. That was a long time.
Really? It was a 6-point game?
Yes, it was. Yeah. January of 96.
And I remember, I think Amy Duran made this huge shot from the corner. Jamel Elliott made a great play. I remember specific plays about it, but when the game ended, I said to Jamel, I said, I think that was the same score. So it's funny what you do remember. I couldn't remember this play I was drawing up though in the first half, but I can remember that.
I wanted to ask about you talking about making sort of the big plays, even in a game where maybe you were struggling on certain things. Did you feel like some of the turnovers that you guys got, especially were key, and some of the points you got off turnovers, that was really one of the keys in the fourth quarter? Yeah.
We really didn't execute great. You know, we put them in position to get back in the game because we did a couple of bizarre things. But on the defensive end, we started to get a little more active. You know, we were a little more engaged. You know, we probably played more zone than we played this year, you know, simply because of their size, and we just couldn't guard a couple of them. And we were pretty active in that zone, and there was a couple of loose balls that we got. And so, and then, you know, like Aubrey running down for that, you know, that breakaway, and you know, we got a layup for, you know, and then Paige and Kristen on a break. So there was a lot of good stuff coming out of our defense in that fourth quarter. And that's what, you know, you're supposed to do if you're a good team. You know, when the ball's not going in, you're struggling offensively, you got to get something off your defense. They're just so hard to play against, man. They're just so big. They're so big. So big. God.
Thanks, Coach.
Charlotte, you want to go ahead?
You know, kind of to follow up on the size question, what you saw from Aaliyah tonight in her first big matchup like this, and how you thought she handled herself, especially when Olivia went to the bench. early and Aubrey got in some foul trouble?
Well, you know, Aaliyah Edwards gave us some great minutes. I mean, awesome minutes. Because physically she can handle that their size, and physically she can handle herself around the basket. Being young, you know, she's still not sure of certain things. You know, she made a couple foul line jump shots. You know, she scored on a cut in the lane. There were a lot of good things that Aaliyah did, and we really did need them. You know, we played a pretty good stretch when Kristen was on the bench with 2 fouls in the first half, and Olivia had gotten whacked, and she was on the bench. So that group gave us some really, really good minutes to go in at halftime. You know, down 1, something like that.
Jeff Jacobs.
Hey, Geno, a couple questions. One on a general context. Did you expect to have to go to a 2-3 zone as much as you did tonight, or how'd that run for you? And the other one was when Paige came out, sort of Willis Reed style there after she got taped up, she looked like she hit you on the side and said, I want in right now, but you didn't put her in right away. And then you did put her in the next sequence. Just talk about that.
Yeah, we knew coming in that we were going to have to play some 2-3 zone. We didn't know how much. So I think we did end up playing a little more than we had anticipated, for sure. But it ended up being really good for us. And, you know, D Rose looking down on us somewhere going, I told you should play more 2-3 zone. So God bless you. When Paige sprained her ankle and she came out, we got a sub in. You know, she wanted to go back in. I wasn't sure. I wasn't completely sure yet. And she basically said, you know, put me back in. And the other coaches were yelling, put her back in. So, you know, it was a no-brainer, really. I mean, she was going to go back in. If she could, I mean, if she got the okay to go. You know, one thing I keep reiterating this all the time. If Paige ever becomes a little more selfish, I think we'll be a much better team. So I'm glad she didn't pass up that open 3 that she had. So that was pretty big.
Oh, I thought it was huge. I thought, after a freshman, you know, I'm watching on social media and people are going, oh, this is a Taurasi game, you know, from the Final Four. And all of a sudden there's a freshman who's missed a lot of shots and bang, she hits that one in the last minute there. That was onions, I think Mr. Rafferty would call it, huh?
That's good. And I think a couple of the other guys, they were the happiest guys on the floor because they didn't really want to take that shot. And when Paige caught it, you know, she was obviously wide open and she wasn't afraid to take it. And maybe that's, you know, that's what she's all about. You know, I thought Kristen got a ton of shots tonight, and I wanted her to, you know, and now we got and E got a bunch of shots tonight. And that makes Paige happy when those guys get a lot of shots. But she made a big one. That's for sure. And, you know, that whole social media thing, I'm not on it, so I don't know, but I'm sure every time Paige touches the ball, somebody has an opinion.
Carl, you want to go ahead?
Geno, the other day you said, you know, it's not the rivalry it used to be. And then when you were told Kelly Harper wanted to keep playing, you seemed a little more enthusiastic about it. Now that you've been down there and it was a big game and tight game, how do you feel about possibly extending the series for Tennessee?
Well, first of all, I don't remember saying, because I know I didn't say it, that we're never playing them again, that this was the only year we were playing them. I remember saying we had a 2-year deal, and beyond that, I don't know what the big deal is where everybody's, climbing down my neck saying, you got to play Tennessee, you got to play Tennessee, you got to play Tennessee. Playing them is a good game. And it's been a while since, since the game was easy to put together. Up to now, it wasn't that easy to put together this game. Even if we both wanted to, all along. And now that it just feels like, everybody's okay with doing it, especially when the fans come back. Yeah, I mean, you want to give your players a chance to play the best teams and in the toughest environments, and certainly this is one of those environments, if not not one of the toughest, certainly as tough as any place we play.
Can you address the adding the Arkansas game next week?
Yeah, I don't know who the hell's idea that was. That was my idea. That we're going to get on a plane and go to play Arkansas. They're going to try to score 120 on us because that's the way they play. And we got 3 SEC teams this year: Tennessee, and then now Arkansas, then South Carolina. I don't know who the heck else we might end up playing if this thing keeps going sideways. But Neil, who does a lot of all of our scheduling, pretty much, keeps an eye on that stuff. So in other conferences, as teams get shut down and teams lose games, and all of a sudden they got a 10-day break or 7-day break, and I call neighbors and and I say, hey, Mike, you guys want to play? He said, yeah, we'd love to play. So at this point in time, it really doesn't matter who you play, where you play, when you play. It doesn't matter. You just need to get games, and you need to play people that are pretty good if you can. I don't think anybody's going to care at the end of the season what your record is, or who you beat, or who you lost to. I don't think anybody's going to care. So more people are willing to play.
Anything else for Geno Auriemma? All right, thanks, guys. We'll have Avina Westbrook and Kristen Williams in a couple minutes.
Jesus.
Ooh. Are they talking? No. It was on this one. In a stand.
All right, does anyone want to start with questions for the
No.
Alexa? You can go ahead.
Hi guys. Obviously the first 3 quarters versus the fourth quarter, it seems like something clicked. And then the fourth quarter, you guys were able to go on that run and hold on to the lead you had. What did you think changed either in your approach, what you were doing on the floor on either end for you guys to actually take that first big lead of the game to go up by 9?
Yeah. Go ahead. Well, I think like our shots weren't falling pretty much the entire game. So our main focus was just sticking together and just making big plays. And that's exactly what we did in third and fourth quarter. So that was just the focus.
How about just to be able to stay composed like that, especially I know you guys are the older leaders in the team, but with such a young group of freshmen, even Aubrey as a sophomore, to kind of just get everyone to know, even though it was a game you couldn't really kind of build that lead with, that you could stick with it and that you were still in the game?
I think especially when we weren't hitting shots, we had it nailed down on the defensive end. Everyone knew that, talking in the huddle was like, hey, shot goes up, we have to box out. Like there's just no other way. We have to box out. We have to get the rebounds. We have to try to get them off the boards as much as possible. And even though our offense wasn't flowing like we would have wanted it to, our defense, came in. We got stops when we needed to, rebounded when we needed to, made shots when we needed to too.
Dan Connolly.
What did you guys see from Paige tonight? Because obviously she didn't shoot the ball well, got hurt, but then made the shot when it counted at the end of the game.
We're proud of her. You're gonna have nights like that where just the ball is just not gonna fall, but we all just keep shooting it. We don't care if you miss 10 straight. Keep shooting it. And when that one came off of her hands, we all knew it was going in. She knew it. The bench knew it. I felt like the crowd knew it. We instantly knew when the ball came off her hand, like I said, and it was going in. It was a huge spark for us in the game.
I told her after the game, like, I don't care that you missed a bunch of shots tonight. You made the one that counted, and that's all that matters. Because it's not easy as a freshman, especially, they haven't played in front of a crowd. So, I mean, she is going to come along.
Yeah.
Ladies, I'll jump in. It's Maria from.
Oh, hang on, Maria. Can Carl go ahead?
Maria from SNY. I know that you guys have prided yourself this year on becoming leaders, and that's been a big goal for you. And you have this huge test, and you are two of the players that really helped in getting this win done and stepping up. And I just was curious, how you're feeling about taking on that leadership role and seeing it really play out on the floor tonight.
Well, for me, I mean, it's different. Coach talked about it after the game, like Lou and Fee are not here anymore. Meg and Crystal are not here anymore. So this is our first time, like, going out there in a big game, and it's all on us. So it's different. And I mean, it's a different type of pressure, but we are prepared for it. And I'm excited for the rest of the season.
I think we've all three of us have been doing a good job just embracing it. In practice, just holding each other more accountable. When we make mistakes, like, hey, we can't do that. We got, these younger guys watching after this, and when they make the same mistakes, we feel like that's our fault. So just, like I said, holding each other accountable, then really lead on the court. And, team gonna run, we have to stay composed. Because, even though, we're on the same team as the younger guys, like, they're watching us. They're going to watch how we react to certain things and feed off our energy. So when we're up there, they're going to be right behind us. And when we're low, it's the same thing. So really have to just stay composed. Our energy has to be there throughout the whole game. And, just being able to talk to them, because we've been in their position too.
All right, Carl.
Vina, how much did this team grow up tonight? And the second part of the question is, are you glad this game is over?
Well, to answer your second question first, yes. That's one of the first words that came out of my mouth. I told my team I was glad it's over. But can you repeat the first?
How much did your team grow up tonight?
Oh, tremendously. I think we're all really disappointed when our first couple non-conference games, didn't happen. That's what UConn is kind of known for, having a really tough non-conference season and just playing really good teams. So we knew it was going to be tough. And the game was close the entire night. So I think we all stay composed, and at the end of the day, we got it done. That's what we came here to do.
Kristen, how about going to Arkansas next week? I know you have Georgetown next, but Arkansas, of course, is home for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. It's my homecoming game. Usually we do that senior year, but mine came a year early. I haven't played a game there since my high school state championship game. So I'm excited. I haven't played there in 3 years, and I'm glad that my family and stuff can come out and watch.
Doug?
Hey, Vina. How much satisfaction did you get from your own performance, and especially, you hit those, back-to-back threes there in the 9-0 run in the fourth quarter. Just wondering how much satisfaction you got from that, and because these were the type of games you came to UConn to play, national TV and all.
Yeah, I told my team before the game, it doesn't matter if I scored 2 points or had 25. I wanted us to win. But I know those 2 threes in the game were big for us. Were more, gave us a lot of momentum, a lot of energy, and that's what my team needed. And that's any game, not just because we're playing Tennessee. Whatever my team needs me to do, whether it's assist, box out, screen, rebound, I'm gonna try to do that. But they were just all talking to me like throughout the whole game, just positive. We got you, and that means a lot. Coming back here and playing was tough, a lot of emotions, but they really just kept me level-headed throughout the whole trip.
Did you talk to anyone on the Tennessee side today, or have any interactions at all?
No.
Okay, we have time for a few more, so no new hands. So we're going to go to Al, then Jeff, then Carl.
Avina, you hear me okay? Geno talked about before the game that he talked to you about emotion and how you have to manage the emotion rather than let it get the best of you. How did you go about managing that emotion and focusing the right way?
I just really leaned on my teammates for a lot of it, because I knew that they were going to have my back regardless of any situation. So that was, like I said, that was a huge part of it. He did talk to me before the game, playing with emotion, but, like you said, not letting my emotions get the best of me. He asked if I understood, and I told him, yeah. So going out there and just really playing like myself, not trying to do too much, letting the game come to me, playing with my teammates, trying to get them open and, get us flowing, and just not getting out of character, not letting the crowd noise get to me, the boos and the talking, traitor and all that type of stuff. That gives me energy. I love to hear it. So and my teammates looking at me like, yeah, we got you. Mm-hmm. We're here too. So yep. It was really a great feeling. And I leaned on them the whole way. And to that means everything to me.
How unusual did it feel?
I don't know if unusual would be the word that I use, but it's just definitely a lot of emotions. More anxious, but I'm really just glad that it's over. So, coming in, I told my team in shoot around, this isn't about me. This isn't a Vina versus Tennessee. And if they make it like that, cool, but they have to stop 10 other people on our team, and that's going to be difficult. So, it's about us. I want it to be about us, coming here and getting the job done. And for me, that was a statement. I didn't want to come in here and prove people wrong. I wanted to prove people who believed in me from the start right. That's my team, that's my coaching staff, that's everyone who's been supporting me and my team from the start. So, and I think that's what we did by getting this W tonight.
All right, we'll go to Jeff and then Carl.
Guys, just quickly on the big play that Paige hit the three. Kristen, I was looking at, it was like 5-4, and you were like probing down off the wing with the ball, got cut off by like 3 people, and you kicked it out to Avina. And then Avina, I just saw you had the ball like in your hands with 2 seconds, and you didn't even blink to throw over to Paige. Could you kind of walk me through what you saw and the faith that you had in Paige and Kristen? What were you trying to do there off the wing initially?
Well, I was trying to get to the basket, but like you said, there were 3 people, and I saw E open, so I passed it to her, and she kicked it to Paige. Paige was wide open, and she makes those shots all the time. So I don't care that she missed whatever. I don't care about that. We know that Paige can shoot the ball, so we were gonna give it to her, and we told her that, and she had confidence and knocked it down.
From my perspective, I seen C drive. She got stuck. There was a whole bunch of people on her, so I just tried to get in a little gap where she could see me. I didn't even, like you said, didn't think twice. I didn't even know how much the time's on the clock. I know it's bad that I said that, but I really didn't. Pass it to Paige. I knew it was winding down. Pass it to Paige. Shot went up, and we all knew it was going. As soon as it left the hand, we all knew it was going.
All right, Carla, can you finish this up?
Kristen, what are the important things your team's going to have to get done in practice tomorrow as you get ready for Saturday? Because obviously you don't have long to celebrate this.
Yeah, right now I think it's recovery. I think we're a little banged up. We haven't talked much about Georgetown yet, but obviously we are going to tomorrow. But I think the biggest thing is just getting some rest and be ready to go on Saturday.
Yeah. And probably a lot of free throws in practice.
Yes.
Free
Oh,
throws,
my goodness.
running through our offense from the we know it from the back of our hand, because it didn't seem like that tonight. But free throws.
I don't know if any of you are pre-med students, but how was Paige in the locker room as far as getting iced down, and what do you think her status could possibly be Saturday?
We don't really speak on each other's injuries and whatever's going on, but we think she's fine. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.